Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Edwards here, a second grade teacher at Stony Point Elementary School. And I'm really excited to celebrate Read Across America Week with you this week. I have a really funny, great book that I know you guys are going to love. The title of the book is Dog Breath: The Horrible Trouble with Halitosis. This may be an author that you recognize because the author of this picture book is also the author of all the Dog Man books that you boys and girls really love. So let's take a look at this book. I know you're going to love it. Okay. There once was a dog named Hallie who lived with the Tosis family. Halitosis was a very good dog, but she had a big problem. Halitosis had horrible breath. Whenever Halitosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. Look at some of the things. The picture's face, the leaves fell off the tree, the poor fish, the wallpaper's peeling. That has got to be some really terrible breath. When the children took Halitosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks avoided Halitosis. So look at all these skunks hiding in the bushes. Everyone's holding their nose. Oh my goodness. But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosis stopped by for a cup of tea. And Hallie jumped up to say hello. Look at Grandma's hair stand straight on end. Knocked her straight over in her chair. Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. Something has got to be done about that smelly dog, they said. And there's poor Hallie with her stink breath. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hallie. They put the sign out, "Free dog to a good home." The children knew that the only way they could save their dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Halitosis to the top of a mountain and that had a breathtaking view. They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hallie's breath away, but it didn't. And there they are, still covering their nose, and the poor son's covering his nose too. Next, the children took Halitosis to a very exciting movie. They hoped all the excitement would leave Hallie breathless. But it didn't. Finally, the children took Halitosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hallie would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. And it even says right here, "You'll lose your breath on a roller coaster." There they are. But that idea stunk too. The plans to change Hallie's bad breath had failed. Now only a miracle could save Halitosis. Sadly, the three friends said goodnight, unaware that a miracle was just on the horizon. Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Tosis house. The burglars were tiptoeing through the dark, quiet rooms when suddenly they came upon Halitosis. "Yikes!" whispered one burglar. "It's a big, mean, scary dog." "Aw, don't be silly," whispered the other burglar. "That's only a cute little fuzzy puppy." The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. "That dog couldn't hurt a fly," whispered one burglar. "Come here, Poochie Poochie," whispered the other. So Hallie came over and gave the burglars a nice big kiss. Slurp! The next morning, the Tosis family awoke to find two burglars passed out cold on the living room floor. It was a miracle. Hallie's breath smelled so bad they passed out. The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks, and soon Halitosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. In the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their minds about finding a new home for Hallie. They decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. And now the sign says, this home protected by dog breath. And there they are, playing with Hallie and covering up their nose. Because life without halitosis just wouldn't make sense. And that's the end of the story, boys and girls. This is just such a silly, funny book, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. The doctor word for stinky breath is actually halitosis. And it's just really funny because the dog's name is Halitosis, and it sounds a lot like that. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you have a fabulous Read Across America week. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Have a great day.